Hey guys, it's Dani here, and today we're going to be looking at a preview of what's to come in Aqua Road. Before we begin, I'd like to thank dinofries for letting me use his footage from the test server. For myself, I stream 3 days a week on Twitch and YouTube, so be sure to check that out in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first thing we noted in dinofries' playthrough is the addition of some new 999 quests. And presumably these are going to be really good for anyone within the 50 to 70 level range, which is fantastic because a lot of people have complained about those levels being particularly slow. You know, you get to level 70 and you kind of just power through all the content, but until then it can be pretty tedious, so this should really mitigate that. As dinofries is going through the maps, he notices a hidden street at the very top of the Seaweed Tower, and in this hidden street he finds Seruf, which is a mini-boss. We later learn that the pearl dropped by Seruf is required to craft the newest rings that are going to be added to the game that I'll get to in just a moment, so you know, I expect a lot of people to be here farming Seruf quite early into the release. So as we continue moving right, the level range of the mobs are between 60 and 80. These bubblefish here are level 63, and then we move further right and there are some pin blooms and crappies. So yeah, lots of new monsters here and lots of new 999 quests to do here too. So as we start to move into deep Aqua, the first thing on everyone's minds is the Gobis map. This has been very popular in other versions of old school MapleStory. The first thing we notice here is the abundance of the spawn of the Gobi houses, so it's going to be a very, very dense map. Personally, I think it's probably going to turn into the new Yetis. This will likely be the best miso farming location. Like, look at this spawn, there's like 6 Gobi houses, it's insane, and if you're a Dragon Knight in this case, you know, you can kill all of them at once, so there's a huge potential for miso farming here. The experience is still going to be pretty good, so what I saw later is that the experience per each Gobi looks to be like 2800, which is solid. Curious enough, like, none of the areas in Aqua Road, you know, the highest level mob is the sharks at 102, so it's not really going to replace the best farming locations in Corridor 304 or Corridor 104 or Chief Grays. But nonetheless, I think it's still going to be a really good alternative to those locations in Omega Sector. You can see just how many Gobis can be spawned here, it's kind of ridiculous almost, but yeah, once again, a really cool location. I think it'd be fantastic for miso farming. Alright, so as is the case with Omega Sector, there will be a pre-quest required to take on Pianus. In this case, you can find Carter in one of the caves, and you'll need to kill and collect 200 of each ETC for all of the deep Aqua mobs. It's a pretty easy quest, very similar to Omega Sector, but nonetheless, it's good to know what you need to do before you jump into the release. So once you've done all that, just return to Carter and she should open the portal to Pianus. And you can see the quest here, you need the scale of Pianus to get the new rings that have been released with Aqua Road. Looking at the Pianus fight, I can see it being pretty difficult for a lot of immobile classes. You've got the lava attack that can hit you consecutively, so if you're standing still, you're likely to just get clapped. There's also the weight that drops on you that is really, really quick and hard to react to, so I can see this being a pretty difficult fight. I'm sure there are some other mechanics, but Dino's kind of just fucking around here, so we don't really get to see too much more of it. The other noteworthy thing is that they say that both sides of Pianus can spawn, so that's going to be interesting, and that they both have slightly different drop tables, so I'm sure we're going to get some more information on that as that comes out. However, just killing Pianus is all you need to get the rings. The other noteworthy thing, however, was that the rings have one base stat, which we'll see in just a moment. So you come back to Moose and you redeem the quest and you get to pick which ring you want. And we'll see these rings have one base stat. What Balte commented at the moment is that Pianus can also drop the rings with variable stats between 0 and 2. However, when you're crafting the ring, you can only get a 1 stat ring. So you're likely going to see a lot of people farming Pianus as well. The other thing he said, which was really cool, was that Pianus can also drop swimwear, which is kind of like, you know, more cash equipment similar to the Miso Ranger gear. So that's also really, really exciting to have more cash shop equips in the game. Then we can also see the crafting requirements for the ring. So you need that Seruf pearl, as well as 1 stat crystal and 5 gold plates, which shouldn't be too hard to amass. I just foresee that the Seruf boss is going to be highly contested early into the release, but it should be pretty easy as time goes by to craft these rings. So this is the look at some of the swimwear that Pianus can drop. It looks really, really cool. The only reason why I don't particularly care too much for this right now is that I will be forced to wear the Mardi Gras mask no matter what, and that's going to be visible over the goggles. So I kind of think, you know, that look's not really going to work anyway. But I am excited to get my hands on the oxygen tank, which is another cash shop variant for the cape slot. In previous versions of the game, the oxygen tank did fuck all, but it looks pretty cool in this case, and it's pretty nice that it's a cash shop equip, so I'll definitely want to get my hands on that. So, I hope you guys are as excited for Aqua Road as I am. That was a really quick rundown of everything to expect. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'm always happy talking about the game. But aside from that, I look forward to seeing you in Chronostory when it drops. But until then, take it easy for now, guys. Bye-bye.